I'm Jordan Belfort, and this is Sales School. I'm going to give you guys just a very important and, let's just sort of say, a piece of wisdom that will help you hold on to the people that you close, whether you're on certification or not. If you're on certification, you've heard me say this formally, but I want to reinforce it right now. For those of you who aren't on certification, you got to hear this. The moment someone says yes, they buy, right? There is a profound shift in what your goals are, what your outcomes are, to essentially, A, ensure that this prospect, who's now a client, has a terrific experience onboarding. B, that they walk away feeling or knowing in their heart and their mind that they made the right decision, that they didn't, sort of, what happened, that they get impulse and they get buyer's remorse. And as I said to you in this module, I said that, buyer's remorse is essentially rooted in a flawed sales pitch that focused on massive emotional certainty, but didn't spend enough time developing the logical underpinning, your logical certainty. And therefore, once you walk away and the emotion wears off, like, what did I do? What? They can't connect the dots, they can't explain it to someone else, and boom, just like that, you get a cancellation, right? So obviously there's things we have to do in terms of the actual straight line in closing to make sure that we build both cases, separate issue, right? But the point is, once they say, yeah, let's do it, right? You have to be standing vigil right now to execute the steps that you've created, and I've handed them to you on a silver platter on certification for what you do when they say yes. There's another set of steps now that ensures that A, the customer gets onboarded correctly, B, they go through a successful adoption period, meaning where they go from using just one or two basic features to actually using the product the way it was meant to be used with the full breadth of features and benefits that it can address, right? And then after that, you set yourself up to do what? Upsell, cross-sell, get bundles, and develop a massive stream of referrals. Just remember, there is a defined strategy with the straight line. We do not leave this up to chance. To me, it is utter insanity to spend so much time going through everything you got to go through to actually get someone to say yes, right? I'm talking about from lead gen to like going through the actual sales call to having to call back, sometimes in a 2-call or 3-call system. So when they finally say yeah, you better make sure you preserve the sale and use it as essentially a springboard to make more sales. That's what great salespeople do. Some people think that, oh yeah, well, I'm a great opener, or she's a great opener. She's not very good at developing relationships. Like, so, she's great. I want to pair her off or pair him off with someone who's a great developer and second trader, or someone that gets big after sales, right? So that someone's a good opener, I can close, but I'm not good at developing long-term. What a bunch of nonsense that is. That's just a fetus attitude. It's grounded in basically fantasy. Okay, let me just tell you the bottom line. In the same way there is these strategies I taught you that turned you into a world-class closer. If you weren't already there, I've turned you into one. You're well on the way to becoming that, right? Same thing goes for your ability to take a customer and develop them, put them through an ascension model or an ascension pathway that maximizes the relationship. Just remember, there's nothing wrong with upselling. There's nothing wrong with cross-selling. Now, for those of you not in certification, upselling means selling them more of the same. Cross-selling means a different product. That's a complementary product, right? So they're a bit different. Upselling means you sell someone more of the same product and a few different features of the same product. Cross-sell is a completely different product. So certification is one product. Script Builder will be a cross-sell, separate product, right? If I sold you into the let's say the original just 1995 program we used to, I don't know if we still sell it anymore. I'm not even, I'm so far past it. I just do all this stuff, and whoever's in the lower price programs, you get just the spillover, right? And it's still worth 10 times as much, right? But the point is if I took you from, let's say, where you had the program at 1995, but now you want access to archives, so it's the same program, you have more features in there, that will be considered an upsell. Versus coming to you with a completely different program, that's a cross-sell nomenclature, okay? Now, remember, when you're out there and you close someone, the second they say yes, in your mind, you have to know what is the pathway. How do you maximize this person, this relationship, both immediately, over the short term, and then over the long term? And that has nothing to do with taking advantage of someone, not doing the right thing. Remember, you're delivering massive value. You're helping people solve problems. That's what you do as a salesperson. Don't think for a second that when you close, we're like, yes. No, that's yes, yes, and now I go to work. Don't just stop and just say, that's it, I did my job, I closed them. No. I want you to develop this customer, turn them into a repeat buyer and a referrer of business. Start by sending thank you notes, doing follow-up schmooze calls, make sure people get onboarded correctly. All I laid out for you in a silver platter in the certification. For those of you who are not, make sure you know this content. Go to other trainings that you've got from me. Some of them, there's a lot of some free stuff. Just please know this stuff. You cannot be a top producing salesperson just by closing sales. Like first times, that's not the way it works. All top producers get there through repeat business and referrals. I promise you that's true. Ask any great salesperson. They will tell you the pathway to greatness. Of course, you got to be a closer, but it's what you do after they say yes. All right? So master this module. This module is crucial. It's critical. It's mission critical for you as a top producer to master this stuff. And I will also tell you that what it does for you on the inner game side, just by knowing that you possess this ability, it makes you want to work harder, because you know every time you close one person, there's like this trail it creates of beauty and greatness and just money, right? As you solve their problems and you essentially tighten your relationship and get referrals. All right? Love you all. Talk again tomorrow.